So my name is Tasha Smutney. I am a double gold consultant, a two-time IATAN card holder, and we're going to present Let's Talk clients this evening. And this training was created by our platinum consultant and three-time IATAN card holder, Julie Shaw. And I am just presenting it this evening for our team. So let's first talk about where we go to even look for clients, okay? So social media is going to be one of our best places to reach people we don't know. Now, it could be whatever is your preference for social media. It could be Facebook, which most of us do use just because we're so familiar with it. And there are groups that you can join on there. But, a lot of people are really successful on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, X, or Twitter, as it used to be, Lemon8, Nextdoor, LinkedIn. A lot of people don't think of LinkedIn as an option for posting for clients. Every time I make a new ad, I post it on my LinkedIn page. All right. We do highly recommend creating a business page. A business page or making your account a business account if you're using it for social media, for advertising. It just gives you more options to see what's going on with your engagement and what has been posted. All right. So in addition to just posting ads, you don't want to just post ads. You want to be present, engage, do things that will get people to interact with you. Add friends, invite people to like your business page, join those groups. Okay. Now there are different social medias have different best times of day that more people are looking at them. Facebook, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, anytime from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. These are Eastern times for me. Thursdays at 11 a.m. for some reason. I'm not sure why, but that's just the way it is, right? Instagram, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, 11 a.m., Tuesdays, 2 p.m. LinkedIn is that 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, but a little bit earlier on Friday, maybe because maybe they're at work and they're looking at stuff and they're like trying to get to work early that day. All right. Pinterest is another option for posting. Lots of people use Pinterest. We do have someone who does a training just on how to use Pinterest for your business. So feel free to take a screenshot so you can see these times. So if you're using these platforms, you can see what times are going to be the best for the most people looking at those social media platforms. Right, and I'm just going to give you a little look. I'm going to pull up my Facebook just so you can see, what we're talking about and some of the things that I do. All right. So first, it was just recently recommended to us on your Facebook page itself to change it to a professional mode. So right here, see where it says turn off professional mode? I'm in professional mode. And what I'm able to do is I'm able to make myself a digital creator. So now instead of saying how many friends I have, it tells me how many followers I have and how many people I'm following. I was approaching that 5,000 limit of friends, and I wasn't able to accept friends. I was having to delete people. Okay. And honestly, what I did to get more people, I would go, and on Facebook, when you're scrolling, it has these suggested friends. Now, what I was doing at first, when I first was really trying to build, I was finding anyone that had 20 or more friends. Now, this is not a person, so I'm not adding them. This person happens to be an administrator in my school district, so I'm not going to request a friend from them. But, anyone, now I'm really doing anyone who has 30 or more because this person is the husband of a friend and he has booked a trip with me. So I do want to add him. but I'll just go through and I started with 20 or more people. Now I'm up to, because I have so many friends, I'm going for more mutual friends. But these pop up all the time. A great way, anyone who's got 30 or more mutual friends, I add them or request them. Because when somebody does have mutual friends, they're going to be more likely to accept that request, right? And the more people I have, the more people I can expose my business to. Now, that being said, I don't necessarily use my personal page to inundate people with, oh, that's one of my old students, with all of my advertisement. Yes, I post about travel. Yes, I will share advertisements from my business page. Oops. Occasionally, things I think will strike something with people that are my friends, but I don't just inundate and post people that way. All right. Most of my business is on my business page. All right. So I've gotten myself up to 801 likes, 922 followers on my business page in under 2 years from zero. So one of the things I do, I come in here, I click the 3 dots, and I already did this today, so there's not going to be many to invite, but it'll pop up. It'll let you invite a maximum from your friends list of 1,000. So I actually there's only one there to invite, but you can do that. And then the other thing you can do, you can ask your friends to invite people to your page. So let me just find the graphic I know I posted. I recently traveled, so I've got a bunch of travel pictures because I will post all of my travel stuff on my personal page. Oh, it's not showing up there. When I travel. Go back to my profile. I also put this into Discord that you can copy and paste. But back near the beginning of the year, I posted a how you can help support my business for no money. Just by giving those same directions, because your friends can go into your Facebook business page and do the same thing you just did and invite all of their friends. So my business page is linked right there. I'm going to copy and paste this right into the chat for you. All right. But I did an eye-catching, thank you for doing this. You just, supported my business for $0 in 30 seconds. They go to my business page, they click the 3 dots, they invite all their own friends as well. Right. So that is ways that you can get people, following that page. And then we talk about joining groups. So if we look at groups I've joined, so I have pending requests for 12 groups. I'm in over 1,400 groups. Now, some of these groups are not related to my business. Some of them are teacher groups. Some of them are ski groups. Some of them, are other things. But I would say the vast majority are places I can advertise, places I can talk about the opportunity, places I can, talk about travel where I can't advertise. So we do recommend that new agents are joining anywhere from 10 to 15 groups a day. Okay. So that you'll have those groups available to post in. Because if you just post on your business page, people are going to be the only one who see your ads. You want to get your ads out to people you don't know, right? Because that's where you're going to grow and get more people. Okay. And then other things we do on Facebook, and you could do this on any, just search travel agent. And we can look at posts. Right? That one is obviously posted by me. I don't want the ones posted by me. But sometimes we'll click recent posts. Hello, I'm looking for a travel agent. Now we can go in there and we can, send a message. It's fine if other people have commented. You also could like this, make a comment, and you can message them. I see that you're looking for a travel agent, and give something that makes you stand out from others. All right. Not just, hey, I'm a travel agent. Here's my information. That isn't going to draw them into you, right? Now, admittedly, a lot of these are from other travel agents, but you're going to find people looking for travel agents. This is a great group to be a part of. I need a travel agent. Now, yes, there's going to be competition in there. I'm already part of this group. Don't act like I'm not. There's going to be other travel agents in there, but you can still post in there. Somebody might specifically ask about something that you're an expert on. Okay. This person only has 15 comments so far. These people are saying, I'd be happy to assist you. And that's all they said. So if I make a comment, hi, Julie. I want to tag them if it lets me. Right now, she's not popping up, but let's see, Morgan. So she's not taggable. Sometimes they are. If you haven't found someone already, to help you plan this trip, I'd love to. Right? I have very good friends who live in Australia, and this is true. I have friends who live in Australia and have helped them travel to the US. I can help you with all aspects of your trip, including flights, accommodations, transfers, sightseeing, and activities while traveling. Please reach out if you would like my help. I tag my business page if it lets me. This page might not let me. I'm not afraid to drop my phone number. Worst case, somebody calls me, I have to block them. Right? But you can look for people looking for help. I'm gonna love her post. I could also message her. Okay. So these are ways that we can use social media more than just posting those ads, right? When we say be engaged, other things I do, I got my first client not from an ad. My very first client I got on a Carnival cruise page. Someone asked a question. They were overwhelmed with booking their first cruise. Tons of questions, actually, in that one post. I answered all of her questions and then said, if you'd like help booking this, please reach out. And she said to me, so many travel agents just dropped their contact information, but you seem like you were going to help me whether I booked with you or not. And you're the most genuine, and that's why I contacted you. Okay, so engage, comment. In addition, be present in those groups so that when the opportunity does come up to post an ad, if it's allowed, or answer, yep, somebody's asking for a travel agent. I'm a travel agent. They're going to say, hey, that's the person who's always in here helping us. I'm going to go to them. Right? So you also, any questions about that before we move on? I know it's a lot. Don't just be the ad dropper though, right? All right. You want to have a web present, more than just one Facebook, more than anything. Create a Google listing, if possible, a business page. Ask for reviews. Wherever you are, ask for reviews for people to post them. Link a website to the Google listing. I know that some people have had some trouble getting verified on Google. They keep changing how you get verified. I will tell you, mine asked for a video, and it had to be a continuous video showing my home office, business licenses. I showed our certificate and some business cards. I showed my website. I showed that I could access travel agent booking sites on my computer. And then I walked through my house because my office is at the back of my house without turning off the video. I showed my address, and it had to have my street sign so that it proved I really was there. And that's what I did for my video for Google, and I did get verified there. They do keep changing the requirements. So, if what you're doing isn't working, look up on YouTube the most recent videos you can find on getting verified a Google business listing, because they do keep changing it. Those social media, you can get a business page on Facebook, LinkedIn. Nextdoor is an app that connects you to your local community and neighbors. Oopsie. And you can have a business page there. Create a YouTube page that you can put up videos from when you travel. I put stuff from when I travel. I also put my trainings. I have different playlists on there. I cruise a lot. Every time I go on a cruise, I do a ship walkthrough, a full walkthrough showing those ships, because I know that people want to watch them. Every time I'm going somewhere, my partner and I, because we are long distance, those are our date nights on the phone before we go on a new ship. We will look up YouTube together and find ship walkthroughs, ship reviews, videos of the locations our crews are going to. We actually just added Disney onto we have a short cruise in April. We're going to spend a couple extra days, go to Disney for 2 days. She hasn't been in years. And she's like, can we watch some Disney videos together? I'm like, absolutely. Like, we watch videos that people make, and those things are going to bring people to your channel. Video things when you travel so that you can make your own travel-based YouTube. Okay. YouTube is connected to your Google account. So if you have a Gmail, it can be the same account. All right. Networking. You want to find ways to reach out to as many people as possible. So in addition to groups that you're allowed to advertise in on social media, join groups that match your own personal interests. All right. Whether that be a hobby of yours, whether you're a mom of toddlers and you join a mom of toddlers group, and be active in those groups. You never know when someone's going to ask something that's then also related to your travel business. Comment on people's groups. Make friends with the people in those groups. If they offer live events and it's a local group, go to those live events. All those things are going to make people feel more comfortable reaching out to you when they then need your business services, right? Participate in those online forums, and then you share your business when it's appropriate. Establish yourself in those groups before you then drop your business. Don't just join a mom's group and be like, hey, I'm a local travel agent if anyone needs it. No. Go in and be like, hey, I'm a mom. My kids are this age. This is the stuff we're currently going through. My kids like these things. Make genuine connections about what the group's about. and then only share the business when it's appropriate. But now you have potential clients there who you can talk to. All right. Now, as far as offline, join local groups local to you. Connect with your chamber of commerce, support groups for things or interest groups, community events, local newsletters. All right. You could submit articles or ads about your business to a local newsletter or community groups. Donate to a charity auction. I did this summer. I sponsored a hole at a charity golf tournament, and they made a sign with my business name, and it had my QR code directly to my Facebook business page. And they said, we need about 150 business cards for our swag bags that we're going to give out. It'll go in everybody's bag. All right. So there are options for things like that. Collaborate with other local businesses. Maybe somebody is an event planner and they need a travel agent. All right. You can volunteer in your community. Get out in your community so that, again, when it's appropriate to share your business, you can. Somebody says, hey, why you been traveling so much? Well, I'm a travel agent, so, it's easier for me to travel. Now it's appropriate to talk about it. Okay. Anytime it can be brought up, I can bring it up. All right. A lot of people think business cards are outdated. There's still a time and a place for them. Okay. But we can get physical business cards or digital. If you are a newer agent, you want to make sure that you really think first about branding your business before you invest any money in a business card. Okay. What do you want your business to be called? Logo or color scheme, all those things, right? There's many places we can get business cards. There's also, places that we sometimes can get them for free. If you go on, one of them's called 4over4.com, the number 4, not the word. You go on and every day you accumulate points. And once you get so many points, they'll give you like 25 free business cards or something like that. It's also, we use Vistaprint a lot, not that expensive. The other option is a digital business card. Popl is something you can get super easy on Amazon, as little as $10. Someone said the app itself is actually free, but the Popls you can get, a keychain or a card that sticks to your phone. And essentially you can, someone taps their phone to it, they get all your business information that you put on that digital business card. Okay. But also with physical things, you can drop them off in offices, local businesses, nail salons, hair salons, massage places that people have to go and sit and wait, that will allow it. There's a lot of businesses in my community that just have business card bulletin boards that you could pin one up. I personally put my QR code to my Facebook business page on them so that no one has to take that card. They can just scan the QR code. Give a handful to your friends and family. Ask them to share with their friends and family, right? Any kind of handouts you give, Halloween, trick-or-treating, little flags on the 4th of July, Christmas ornaments, ducks on cruises. I do this when I cruise. I used to love to find the ducks, so I love to hide the ducks for people, and I tie my business card on it. All right? That's my tag identifying who hid the duck. It's a big thing on cruises that there's actually a website, cruisingducks.com. People post the ducks, pictures of ducks they found. All right. So think of creative ways you can give them out to people. I keep business cards in my purse. So when I am talking to somebody and they say, oh, would you like one of my business cards as well? All right. Sunday, when we went to Epcot, there was somebody from another team. He had a shirt he got from Walmart that had it was St. Patrick's Day, a Mickey St. Patrick's shirt, and tons of people had the same shirt. Every person he saw with the shirt, he said, hey, we have the same shirt on. You got the memo or something like that. And he said, Let's take a picture together. He took the picture and they said, hey, is it okay if I post this on my social media? They're like, yeah, sure, whatever. He's like, here's my card if you want to find your picture online. He must have given out 60 business cards doing that at Epcot. And you know, if they're at Disney, they have money to spend on travel, right? Now, yes, he is a very outgoing person. That might not be everybody's cup of tea, but there's ways to do it. Okay. Just get your name out there because we don't want to be a secret agent. Nobody can book travel with you if they don't know that you're a travel agent. And when people say to me, people still use travel agents, why? I can book it online. Yeah, but why waste your time when I can do it? It's not going to cost you anything extra. Why get stressed out? Sometimes we have to educate people to say, hey, they're like, I don't want to pay you to do it when I could do it myself. I said, that's the great thing. You don't have to pay me, right? Whenever it's appropriate, I tell people I'm a travel agent because I do post about traveling. They're like, you are never home, girl. You're always traveling. I said, well, you know, it doesn't hurt that I get paid every time I travel, get commission on my own travels. I can use it as a tax write-off. I'm going to tell you right now, I did my taxes today. I thought I was going to have to pay money. I'm not. All right. My travels alone this past year, it was like $10,000. Now, I included everything. Every weekend that I pay for the hotel to go skiing, which is at least every other weekend all winter. All of those things count because they're part of my research as a travel agent. All right. But people say to me, how do you travel? And I said, well, this is how. I have easier access to book things and I get paid to do it. So it's not going to cost you anything to use me because if you book Disney, Disney's going to pay me, not you. So I tell people. And that's from them seeing that I travel. But also, you know, somebody comes home from a trip and they said, oh, I had the best trip. I really loved it. I said, you know, I'd love to hear about the resort you went to because I'm a travel agent and I'd love to know if it would be a great fit for my clients. I've never been there, but I'd love to hear about it from you. Right? People want to talk about their vacations. You know, so these are ways that, you know, we can help. Vendor events are a great, great way to get out into the community and also, you know, outside that social media box. So many people are like, oh, I don't like using social media. I don't get enough in there. You know, you don't have to do just that. Faith today was at a vendor event. She was the only travel agent there. Lynette next weekend is going to a bridal event. She's the only vendor listed that's a travel agent. She said they have 4,000 confirmations of people going. You can get so much exposure going to a vendor event. You know, I've done a craft fair. I didn't get a ton because really it was like people were looking for Christmas gifts. It was right before Christmas. It was a small like school one, but I got people to write down their email addresses and now I've got an email mailing list that I could send out. Right? There's so many options. Some of these, yes, they will cost you money. Some local, like small town things that have vendor events, they'll just ask for a donation and you don't have to pay a specific amount. All right. You could host a party online. Co-host with somebody who's like Pampered Chef, Pure Romance, Scentsy, Color Street for the nails. All right. Or have an actual travel party and pick a theme. Who wants to learn about cruises? I'm going to have a whole party learning all about cruises. We're going to pretend we're on a cruise. We're going to have sail away party. You could host these, advertise them to your friends, advertise them on social media, you know, but you also can collaborate with these people that already go to things like a Pampered Chef. It could be in person or online for some of those as well. So the biggest thing I'm getting at is think outside the box. What are some creative and unique ways that you can get yourself out there? Now, as I said, traveling helps you to market travel. Go on trips and post about what you're doing. Go live, make reels, post pics, share the information. Don't be afraid to get in front of the camera. So often we're taking pics, we're doing videos, we're never in them. Okay. Every time I travel and post pics, I immediately get inundated with requests for travel. This summer, I had a week in Disney and Universal, followed by a week on a cruise. I got back from that, and it was right when school was starting, when I was already crazy. And I was drowning with quotes just from people seeing my own travels. It really, really helps. Every time I go on a trip and post, I immediately get an influx of inquiries. All right. Now, maybe you're at the point, you're new, you don't really have the money to travel. Find local gems. Not all your friends live locally. And if you get followers that are not local to you, I live in New England. In the fall, I can take a road trip, find all the foliage, great hikes to do in New England, seek like little places that you know about that people who don't live there wouldn't know about. You don't have to spend money to get travel content. You can do it locally as well. But if you are doing like big trips too, get pictures and videos and let people know so that they can see. Admittedly, I've posted nothing from last weekend in Orlando yet. I'm just waiting because I'm a teacher and I took 2 personal days in a row right before the weekend. I need them to think it's this weekend that I'm there when I didn't take time off. So I'm going to post stuff this weekend or Monday. All right. But traveling helps you promote travel. Right. So that part really talked about where to find the clients. So before we move on to what we do once we get those clients and inquiries, questions about the things we talked about, how we get those clients. And I know some of you said that your problem is people are reaching out, but then they're not following through. So that's what we're going to talk about in the second half of this training. But before we move on, any questions? No questions? What do we do once? All right. So we want to make sure that no matter who the client is, we follow the same steps every time. Doesn't matter if it's your best friend or a stranger. Number 1, we want to get those clients on the phone. You will not sell travel through text message or messenger or email. All right? It doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter how long you knew them. Get them on the phone. Because you want to ask those qualifying questions with those inquiry forms we use. Those are our pre-made documents with questions to ask. Does everyone know where to find the inquiry forms? Or what I'm talking about when I say inquiry forms? Because you need that guide to make sure you get all the questions answered. Right? We want to fully qualify those clients. Yes, saved on your desktop. Absolutely. Some people like to print them out. I do sometimes like to write while I'm talking to the client, even though I'm then going to put it in my computer anyway. But then you want to set up that follow-up appointment to go over the quote before you get off the phone with them from that initial phone call. This should be another phone call. All right. We're not going to just send them the quote. Schedule according to your schedule. But really, it should probably be no more than 48 to 72 hours after the consultation, unless they tell you they're not going to be ready to book for like 2 weeks or something. If they say, hey, I'm not going to be able to book until the end of the month, I'm going to work on that quote leading up to the, 48 to 72 hours before the date at the end of the month that we're going to talk. Right? When you're prepared and follow the same steps every time, it becomes less stressful and you'll naturally be more confident. It also means that things aren't going to get missed. All right. If you don't get on that phone call, there can easily be miscommunications, but there's also not a level of trust developed between you and the client. They eventually have to give you their credit card information. And if they don't trust you, they're not going to. And if somebody won't get on the phone with you, they're not going to book with you. Bottom line, they're shopping, they're looking for your quote deals, and they're probably asking more than just you. Or they're just not serious about booking anyway. All right. So setting up that initial consult, offer them, 2 different times that would work for you. For example, I have 4 p.m. Monday or 9 a.m. Tuesday available. Which works best for you? Right? Give them 2 times. Notice those 2 times are very different times of the day. Okay. If neither works, see what else is off, you can offer. You want to be prepared for that phone call. Have your list of questions you're going to ask them and be prepared to properly qualify them. That phone call is not for you to inform them about anything. I have a lot of new agents who are like, oh, they said they want to do a cruise. I'm going to start looking up cruises that I might want to suggest to them. No, you're wasting your time. You have no idea what they're looking for. They might have a specific cruise in mind. They might know nothing about cruises and just say, hey, I just know I want to go on a cruise. And then we ask those questions like what atmosphere they're looking for. Do they have a cruise line in mind? Party vibe, relaxing vibe. Are they older and want an older crowd? Or are they older and they still want the younger crowd around? You got to ask all those things. And if you've done all this work before it, you may have found stuff that it's not even worth offering them. And that's not what that first call's for. The first call is to gather information from the client so that you can best match a trip to them afterwards. All right. We're not paid for our time. So you want to use your time as efficiently as possible. We're only paid based on what they book and after they travel, getting that commission. All right. Always set up the follow-up appointment to go over the booking or the quote and allow yourself time based on your schedule. Do not have a consult tomorrow morning and say, I'll call you by noon. Why stress yourself out like that? All right. Not worth it. Give yourself the time. Now, let's say I work on it Sunday and I have my appointment with them Tuesday. I'm going to double check all the prices right before I get back on the phone because they might have changed. All right. So even if it is that 48 hours later, I always reconfirm everything right before we get back on the phone as far as pricing. Okay. So this consult, we keep using the word qualify. Qualify. What are the qualities they're looking for? Are they serious? All those things, right? So we're using the pre-made inquiry forms. We have land, Disney, and cruise. Everyone knows where to find them. I'm just going to show everybody real quick. Now, they are in the steps to success, but they're also on our team website. If you go under recordings and info, booking travel, yes, we need to log in at this point to get there. Scroll past these basic steps: cruise inquiry, land inquiry, Disney inquiry. They're all going to have a bunch of the same, questions, but then they're also going to have specific to that type of travel. We have a separate one for Disney because Disney does have, some different things to it. So use those forms to create a conversation as a guide. Don't treat it like an interview or a survey. Don't ever send them that just to fill out. Okay. Yes, I have a Google form on my business page that asks those questions if that's the way they choose how to contact me. I never send that out to clients and make them do the work. They're coming to a travel agent to do less work. Don't give them work. All right. Their only homework should be get everyone's passport pictures. Make sure you have the right spelling of everyone's names and their birth dates for me. Don't make them do anything that you can do yourself. Right? We want to establish a personal connection with them, right? As you're having that conversation, find something relatable. Maybe you hear the kids in the background and you've got kids around the same age. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry my kids are loud. Like, listen, I understand. I get it. I can say things like, I'm a teacher. I totally understand. Like, those kids want your attention, whatever's going on. It's fine. Maybe they start talking about a trip they went on and you've had a similar experience. Let them feel like you're their friend, not just somebody, all business trying to get the info, right? Then express your value to them. What makes you valuable? What makes you different from all the other agents? If you charge a fee, let them know ahead of time. Have you been where they want to go before? Talk about it. But never, ever say, I'm a new agent. I've never done this before. Don't ever say that. Okay? Because immediately they're going to be like, oh, maybe I should call someone else. But also I talk about the things I do that help enhance that experience. Hey, I'm going to check you in for your flights. I'm going to make sure if anything, if something happens with your flights, I'm going to be there to help you. You don't have to worry about checking in on the way home. I'm going to do that for you so you can just relax and enjoy your vacation or trip. Right? Let them know those extras that you do that Expedia can't do for them. Right? Let them know the ways that you're going to help them take away stress, save them time. I'm going to be honest, most of my clients come to me, they're just overwhelmed by the process. And them just knowing, oh, she's got my back and she's going to make sure everything's done properly really helps a lot of people. Budget, budget, budget. You have to get the budget. I know it's hard for people to give you one. People will say things like, oh, just not too expensive. Well, not too expensive for me is much different than not too expensive for a millionaire. Right? I'm pretty good with if the hotel is clean and safe, that's good enough for me. You're not too expensive might be, how many bells and whistles can I get for the least amount of money? Or someone's not too expensive is, less than 200 a night and someone else's is less than 500 a night. So sometimes it has to be asking different questions if they have no idea. Like, well, what do you usually spend on a hotel a night? Or what's the most you're going to be comfortable spending total or per person for this? Help them, guide them to think about those things, because you really can't do your job without knowing what they're willing to spend. But I also make sure that I let that client know I'm not going to max out your budget unless I absolutely have to. I'm going to find you the best value for everything you're looking for. All right. We also have to make sure that, if they come to us with a completely unrealistic budget, you might have to let them know. All right. Someone comes to me and says, we're hoping to get, $500 per person for a week with flights at an all-inclusive resort. That's not going to happen. Now, I would be kinder. I wouldn't say it that way, but I would say, we might need to look at different options because honestly, the flights alone are probably going to be more than that per person. Is that the most you could spend, or were you just hoping that that's what you could spend? If that's really the most you can spend, can we look at an option that's going to be drivable for you? So we do have to let them know if that budget is not realistic, right? Remember, we closed that consultation with setting the follow-up appointment within 48 to 72 hours of that initial consult, right? We do have trainings that are a full hour on qualifying your client, doing a whole role play, all of those things. So the do's, the don'ts, and the don't forget of delivering the quote, right? The better you deliver this quote, the more likely your client's going to book. Do make your client aware that travel prices change day by day. Prices are subject to change until the deposit is paid. You want to make sure they know, I cannot guarantee this price until we put down that deposit. With that being said, there are some options, like some cruises will allow you to hold it for 48 hours or 72 hours at that price, but know what those options are. But for the most part, until you put a deposit, anything's subject to change. Reassure your client you will deliver the best option based on their needs and wants. All right. I'm finding you the best thing for what you're looking for. Be on time with your appointments. You said you're going to call them at 5. Don't call them at 5:01. Call them at 5. All right. Stay professional. Treat your business like the business it is. The appointment's at that time. That's the time you call. Okay. Do not, absolutely do not be rude or pushy. It's their vacation, right? They're entitled to whatever experience they want, right? Maybe it's not what you would choose for yourself, but if you're getting them what they want, you're doing your job. Don't waste your time. Do that full qualification with them and find out when they'll be ready to book. Get them on the phone. If you don't properly qualify a client, you're wasting your time. Don't do extra work. If someone calls and says, I just want to get an idea, but we're not going to book this. We're not going to be ready to book till May. Great. I can tell you, I've been finding things around this, but I would need to customize it specific to you. And the prices today are not going to be what they're going to be in May. So let's touch base again then. And typically what I'll do, I'll send, I'll contact them, be like, hey, are you still looking to book this trip? I have times to talk these times, just like I would have set up that initial consultation. Don't give them too many options. A lot of times I give my clients one option. There are people who will say, give them at least 3, a low, a middle, a high budget. If this one matches exactly what they want and it's in their budget, why would I give them other choices? Now they just have more decisions to make. and they came to you to make their decisions for them. Now, do I usually have a backup option if I only had one? Yes. But don't be giving them 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options. Now they're never going to decide, right? Do not ever email quotes before you get them on the phone. With that being said, do I often email a quote right as we're getting on the phone so they can look at it at the same time if it's complicated? Absolutely. I'm not just going to email someone a quote and say, hey, what do you think? Do you want to book this? It's the quickest way I found to be ghosted and for clients not to book is to just send them the information. First of all, they're going to go, great, she gave me everything. I'm going to go look it up. It's about $100. It's $100 more, but I can just book it right now. People do that. They'll find the same thing for more money and say, oh, she recommends this. I'm just going to book it for this price. Don't email them the quotes. Get them on the phone. Talk to them about what you found and why you chose it for them. Get them excited. You won't believe the amazing trip I found for you that matches everything you're looking for. I can picture you and your kids on that beach. You know, you told me you really wanted to get them using kayaks and paddle boards, and they have these things. Hey, they even have windsurfers, and that might be a cool new thing for them to try. From what you told me about your family, this is why I chose this. You know, make that experience come to life. Right? Don't forget, this is, as I just said, time to be personable. Why is it right for them? Continue to build that trust and share your value of what you're providing for them. All right? Don't forget during delivering or before the quote, within that 48 to 72 hours after, you know, follow up. After, if they don't decide right there on the phone, follow up. Right? You always want to be ready with a credit card authorization form. Best practices, you get that signed before you run their credit card. You don't want somebody to come back and be like, they charged my card and I didn't give them permission. If you don't have that signed form, Archer will hold you responsible. You have to have the signed credit card authorization form. That being said, I add the reservation confirmation numbers after because there is a spot on there for that. Okay. I fill out as much of it as I can for the client. Again, we do have a training just on that and the commission tracking form. You want to be filling out that commission tracking form when you make the booking. Archer has started saying even more, they're going to be cracking down. If they're not, those commission tracking forms are not there when the commissions come. And by, I think they said 60 days after they're paid the commissions, they're not going to go back and backtrack and pay you when you put it in late. I always put the commission tracking form in the day I make the booking, even if it's just a deposit. It's going to be connected to that booking number. If something changes with the pricing, they upgrade something, you're still going to get paid what you're owed because Archer's going to pay you based on what they actually get paid, not on that estimated commission that you see. That's why the tracking form says estimated commission. And if for some reason a trip is canceled, it's fine if there's a commission tracking form there. It just means that there's no commission coming. Right? I do typically, if a trip gets canceled, go in there and delete those, but you don't have to. All right? But you want to do those right away. Don't forget to do them. Again, we want to be prepared. Have pictures of the resort on your phone or email ready to send the client while you're talking to them, right? Hey, here's a picture of what your room's going to look like. Here's the beach at this resort. Have the booking portal ready to go. So if they're ready, you can book it live, right? Make sure to know the pricing of the deposit and when the final due date is for that total price to be paid. You know, if the deposit is due today and the final payment is due next week, I'm probably going to tell my clients, let's pay the whole thing. I was looking at something for like June, I think, and it was something like that. It was like, let's just pay it now. It gives you like 3 days before it's due. Be prepared to take that credit card info over the phone and have that credit card authorization be like, hey, I'm sending it to you right now so that we can make this payment. Okay. If you're prepared and or not prepared and they're ready to book, they're going to be frustrated. So you want to make sure you're prepared that they might want to make that booking during that follow-up quote presentation to you. Okay. So all of these things are going to help you close the deal to make the booking. All right. We'll do other trainings on, retaining clients to make them repeat clients. But the biggest thing at first, especially as a new agent, and as a bunch of you have told me, you're getting people to contact you, but you're not closing the deal. These are the more important things about, getting those deals closed to begin with. All right. And the other thing is, don't try to do it all by yourself as a new agent. Let us help you. You had the consultation, get in touch with your mentor, a gold or a platinum. Be like, hey, now what do I do? Especially as a new agent, at least your first 5 bookings, let us help you every step of the way. Because then we can remind you, hey, you're about to have your call. Do you have this ready, this ready, this ready for your quote delivery? We can look over what you found and help you with how we'd present it. All of those things. Okay. A lot of people are worried that asking for help looks like a sign of weakness, like, hey, they're going to think I can't do this. When really, it's a huge sign of strength that you care about doing a good job and you're willing to learn as much as possible. So you really do want to let us help. Okay.